When a family searches for a funeral director, they are often sitting in a hospital room, exhausted, in the middle of the night. The website that wins their call in that moment is simply the one that was technically prepared to be found. This diagram shows the two distinct parts of search visibility. On the right is local SEO, your Google business profile and map placement. On the left is on-page SEO. This is the optimization of the specific elements, content, and code on your actual website. Google classifies funeral home websites under a strict category called YMYL, which stands for Your Money or Your Life. Because your services carry massive emotional and financial impact, Google evaluates your pages using a much higher standard of trust than a typical local business. To meet that standard, every page on your website needs a specific set of optimized elements. We will walk through the 10-point checklist required to build a page that actually ranks. Neglecting on-page SEO results in lower search visibility and directly prevents you from reaching families who are looking for immediate local help. Step 1 happens before a family even reaches your website. The first interaction Google and a potential client have with your business occurs directly in the search results. Looking at this search result, we see the ideal formula for a title tag. It needs to stay under 60 characters so it doesn't get cut off, and it must include your primary service, your specific town, and your brand name. Right below the title is the meta description. While Google doesn't use this directly for ranking, a clear, compassionate 155-character summary here is what actually convinces a family to click your link instead of the one below it. Once they do click, Google's crawlers look for an H1 heading tag. There should be exactly one H1 on the page, and it serves as the primary headline, telling the algorithm exactly what the page is about. Beneath that H1, this hierarchy shows how to structure your H2 subheadings. Frame your H2s as direct questions that families actually ask. Structuring them this way makes your content highly eligible to be pulled directly into Google's AI overviews. Finally, as the address bar shows here, your URL structure must be clean. Keep it short, use completely lowercase letters, and separate the words only with hyphens. Getting these structural tags right creates the technical foundation that dictates whether a distressed family clicks your result or scrolls right past to a competitor. Now that the page structure is set, the content itself needs to satisfy the technical requirements of search crawlers while remaining sensitive to grieving families. A dedicated service page requires between 400 and 700 words of text. This content should clearly outline what the service involves and what families can expect procedurally. Avoid aggressive sales pitches. Helpful, practical guidance performs best. The images accompanying that text require optimization as well. Save your files in the compressed WebP format and write descriptive alt text for every image so search engines can read the visual context. To connect these pages, we use internal linking. This flowchart maps the ideal path. Links guide Google's crawlers and your visitors from the home page outward to specific service pages, and finally down to the contact page to make an inquiry. Thoughtful answers and internal navigation keep overwhelmed families grounded, while proving to Google that your site is organized and relevant to the local area. Because funeral services are deeply consequential, Google applies a strict credibility framework known as EEAT, measuring experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Generic, faceless text on an About Us page makes it difficult for a funeral home to meet these strict ranking guidelines. This comparison shows exactly what the algorithm prefers. A high-ranking profile relies on specifics: real staff headshots, named directors, exact years of experience, and explicit mentions of professional qualifications, like NAFD or BIE memberships. These on-page credentials function as a mandatory technical signal. By explicitly listing your qualifications, you provide the evidence the search algorithm needs to trust your independent business over a generic directory listing. Underneath the written content and the trust signals is the invisible technical layer that keeps the site running smoothly. First is schema markup. By applying specific code types, like local business and FAQ page, you explicitly categorize your content in a language that modern AI search tools and Google crawlers can instantly parse and cite. Second is mobile page speed. Your page must load in under 2 seconds. Families are frequently looking for your number using weak cellular connections. If the page stutters, they will abandon the site. As this chart demonstrates, massive uncompressed image files are usually the culprit pushing load times past the 2-second limit. Running your site through Google PageSpeed Insights helps you fix this by identifying and compressing those exact files. Great content is effectively invisible if a 4-second mobile load time causes a family to abandon the page before it ever appears. Let's bring all of these requirements together into a single executable plan. Check 1. A title tag under 60 characters. 2. A 155-character meta description. 3. A single H1 tag with question-based H2s. 4. A clean hyphenated URL. 5. 400 to 700 words of helpful page content. Check 6. Valid schema markup. 7. WebP images with alt text. 8. Clear internal links. 9. EEAT trust signals. And 10. A mobile page speed under 2 seconds. Applying this checklist to every page prevents technical errors from burying your site in the search results. Take 10 minutes today to audit your top service pages and ensure your funeral home is immediately visible at the exact moment a grieving family reaches out for help.